Welcome to the thenolaroexperien podcast. Raw, honest, relatable experiences that help us grow. Are you subscribed? If not, what are you waiting for? Go! And please, leave a review and help us grow while you're at it. Thank you.
On today's episode of the Nola podcast, I am here with the beautiful, super talented Treanna Neufville, and we are going to be talking about motherhood, marriage, early menopause, the SOA, Q&A, and of course, today's happy habit. Hey girl.
Hey girl.
We have gone through a lot.
Yep.
To get this done.
Yep.
My goodness. And you know what I love about you? You have been so resilient and patient and kind and understanding with this whole process because it's been crazy. It's been crazy.
It's okay. I think it's important that when you believe in something and someone, like, you give grace, and I'm always open to that. And I wanted to be a part of it, so I wanted to make sure that I did. So
I love it. Thank you so much.
no problem, girl.
All right, let's get right into it.
Okay.
Let's get all up in your business.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you've been posting lately about experiencing early menopause,
Yep.
which I didn't know was happening. And when I saw the post, I was like, wait a minute, what?
Mm-hmm.
How is that at 34?
I feel like every day is different. That I have some days where I'm like cool with it, and there's some days where like I'm angry with myself, with my body. A lot of times I'll be crying in a corner. So I just think it's just different. I just try to take it like, day by day, and just understand that, this is just a moment. I'm gonna get through this. I'm going to relearn how to live with this. And yeah.
So why is it happening? I mean, what is it that would make you say, you know what, I'm mad at myself?
Yeah, so what happened was it'll be 2 years in January since I've had my hysterectomy. But what had happened was, like, during COVID, like 2021-ish, like, my period wasn't coming. So I thought, like, ooh, maybe I'm pregnant. And I kept taking pregnancy tests, and they were like coming out negative. So I went to the doctor, and I was telling them, like, I haven't got my period, and I just feel kind of like weird. Like, my stomach was like protruding. I was looking pregnant, but I wasn't pregnant. And like, nobody want to be looking pregnant when you're not pregnant. So I just asked them, like, what's going on. So they did an x-ray, and long story short, they basically found like a tumor the size of a basketball on my left ovary.
No way.
Mm-hmm. It was like,
this is 2021?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was huge. It was huge. And I could feel it. And that's how I knew, like, something was kind of sort of off. So they was like, we have to go and go in, take this off your ovary. You don't want it to burst. You don't want it to explode. Because it's like pulling down, So I was like, okay, cool. So went for surgery, got it done. It was cool. I was living life. And then I got a call from my doctor, and he was like, are you alone? And I was like, no. Like, what happened? Like, what you want? Because you're just trying to live.
Yeah.
And he was
Why
like,
are you interrupting my grinding?
He was like, I need you to go somewhere where you can be alone because I have something serious to tell you. And he essentially told me that they took the tumor, they tested it, and it came back malignant. And so I was told that I had stage 1 ovarian cancer, and that he really thought it would be best for me to start going to see a gynecological oncologist. And he recommended me to, like, somebody that was close to him. And I went in, and they pretty much gave me a decision. It was like, so we can take this ovary from you, and, just hope and pray that once that goes away, that your cancer will go away. Or we can just give you a full hysterectomy so that you don't have to worry about your cancer coming out, expanding outside of your uterus. And I seen cancer in my family. People go through cancer, and I see what it does to your body, and like all the stress, like with the chemotherapy and the appointments. And I just didn't want to put myself through that. I did not want to put my husband, my children, my family through, like, the challenges that comes with someone who, has cancer. So I decided.
So you made a sacrifice.
I did. Yeah. I said, you know what? So let's just get rid of it. So I got a hysterectomy. And like when you ask me, like, why am I upset sometimes? Sometimes I am upset because I did, see myself in my future having 3 children. And it's like, damn, that's not going to happen, not naturally, so that's why I'm upset sometimes. But yeah, I did it because I just didn't want to deal with that. So taking out my uterus has put me into menopause at 34. So that's where we at.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just digesting that because the phone call is one thing that sounds really heavy. Then the decision making was another thing that sounds really heavy. And then the aftermath of feeling regret sounds really heavy. So you've been carrying a lot.
Yeah, girl, I just be outside carrying my load.
You've been carrying a lot. But you know what? I think, how do I say this without sounding like an idiot?
No, just say it.
I feel like you've been doing it well.
Yeah.
I was about to say I think you're built for this, but I feel like are you doing okay?
Yeah, today's a really good day. Like, I feel like every day that I get a chance to wake up, it's a good day, but today's a really good day. There's some days where I'm not okay. No, like,
like a human.
Yeah, right. So I just, like I said at the beginning, just take it day by day. It is a lot, but I've been taught to, you don't have to look like what you're going through. Like, it's really important to me.
You definitely don't look like what you're going through, girl.
Thank you. Because that's something that I really take pride in. Like, I love to make sure that I look good because I feel like it's a testament to me being grateful for the fact that I have the opportunity to even be here. So I really like to take my time with myself. I like to be cute, get dressed, do all the things that's going to continue to remind me that, like, I have a reason to live, outside of course, my children and my husband and family, but for me, so I don't want to look like what I've been through because I don't need to, like, I've been through a lot. I need to focus on making sure that I feel good. So I look good.
I love that. But what about the days when you don't feel so good and you're like, I don't know if I have it in me to even try to look good? What does that look like? Are you on the couch eating like ice cream? This is me watching too much TV, by the way.
No, it's okay. When I have bad days, I'm just very vocal that I'm having a bad day. So, like, my husband knows, my kids know, like, if I'm going to work that day, like.
So what are you saying, guys?
Yeah, today's not a good day. Like, our code word is literally like blue. When I say blue, they know, like, up.
All right, it's a blue
leave
day.
Mommy alone. So, because I'm very transparent. I feel like when you go through these types of things and you change in a dramatic way, it's only right that you let the people around you know what's going on. Yeah, it's not fair. It wouldn't be fair to them or to me for me to be holding this in and them having to walk around on eggshells around me because I'm not having a good day.
Yeah, but I also know that when people do that, not say what's happening, people are like, something is different about her.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Right. And I never want them to feel like, because I'm going through what I'm going through, that it's their fault, or that, I'm dragging them down with me. So it's just like, Mommy's not in the mood today. It's a blue day. And everyone knows just what to do. My husband know he gotta, do a little bit extra that day, and he'll encourage me to, like, go do something that's going to make me feel good. And that's what I try to really focus on, like, just praying really hard for just endurance to just be okay, to make it through, journaling, making sure I go to my Starbucks, just doing things to ensure that books. Exactly. doing things to just ensure that I take care of myself and also give myself the space to feel, because that's important to me. You know, I'm not one of those women that's just going to pretend to be okay and just keep pushing. I don't think it's healthy. You know, I feel like a lot of the things that we carry can manifest physically. And I also think a lot of times, like, was it because of me pretending to be okay? Did that, you know, not cause, but like help my cancer to progress? Like, did that give, like, make my body a breathing space because I was holding on to so much hurt,
I
pain,
believe so.
stress, regret? Yeah, I believe those things can be
Energy
connected.
is real.
I believe in that. So it's just like really trying to remind myself, like, girl, you gotta get this stuff out because it's not good for you.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts, because if you're not putting it out, you're keeping it in.
Exactly.
Literally.
Period.
So are you surprised by anything that popped up with menopause? Because I feel like we hear about, well, I could say me, I've heard about menopause so many times, right? And I'll hear hot flashes, hot flashes, hot flashes, hot flashes, dryness, painful sex, and not much weight gain, not much else. But I am sure there are things happening that women never talk about in public.
Yeah, so I feel like everyone's journey is different. Like, I've experienced all of those things. Hot flashes are real and they're gross. Like, I hate them. I'm always hot, but it's okay. But for me, I feel like the biggest thing that women don't talk about is the emotional toll that it takes on you. You know, when your hormones are all over the place, you're extremely emotional. There's been times where I've seen myself, like, you know how you are watching yourself outside of yourself be just irrational and just gross and oh my gosh, like I've bitchy. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Like, I've been bitchy and angry and just, you know, and I feel like it really impacted, like, you know, my family, also like the way I showed up at my job and, like, you know, in my business. I feel like that's the thing that we don't talk enough about. Like, what are you supposed to do with those feelings? How are you supposed to navigate through those feelings when you're feeling like that inside of yourself and then your body is also changing?
It's showing up, but you're not creating it. It's like you can't even help it.
No, a lot of days
you can't. How are you navigating something you can't help?
Like I said, just being mindful, really practicing mindfulness and being aware that this is what I have, this is where I'm at, and being, you know, sure to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. So when those days come up and they come around, like I said, just telling people and letting them know. Like, I had to apologize to a lot of my coworkers at the start of this year because I know I wasn't showing up in my best capacity because I was feeling crazy. Like, I literally felt crazy. Like, yes, that's how I felt.
And I
like,
think also, not only are you, this is a little bit of a sidebar. It's an issue that I've been having with how generations communicate with each other. We're doing the same thing that our elders did as far as this separation. Our generation of women, people, period, are saying, oh, Gen Z is this. They can't do this. No, lazy. Can't socialize. Anxiety. All this stuff. And I'm like, guys, this is the exact thing that happened with us and our elders when they kept talking about how different we are. And that separation causes a lack in communication. If you've gone through menopause or whatever it is that comes with that, as my elder, you don't even talk to me about it. You don't even tell me, like, okay, let me put you on a game. This is what's happening. So you coming into this space, which is natural, it happens
eventually to all of us, right?
But then it's happening at a rate and a time that was completely unexpected.
Exactly.
So who are you talking to anybody? Are you?
So that's the thing. none of my friends, like even my older women friends, like nobody is here yet.
They're
Like
like,
I
nah,
know
girl.
nobody knows, what it is that I'm going through. So like the in the way that they offer support is just by listening, being there, hanging out with me, those types of things. Like I think there's only one person right now, like in my circle that I talk to, and that's a coworker that's in this space. So we share. But everybody else, all they can do really for the most part is empathize
So
with
how
me
did you get your information?
So I'm still working on trying to find my tribe. Like the information that I find is just stuff that I research. But specifically, what I'm looking for is women who look like me and are where I am in life to, do this journey with. And I haven't found many yet, so I'm still just like working on that part. But yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, when it's my turn, I'll have you.
Yeah.
What is a day like in the life of a mom, businesswoman? You have a job, you're married, you're dealing with your own internal stuff. What does that look like? Because I feel like I always have to resort to social media because that's mostly where we see each other, right? People in general.
Of course.
And you'll see these moms with their cups of coffee and we know you have liquor in there.
No. Seriously,
we know you got some whiskey
some
in
wine,
that cup.
Yeah.
Pushing these expensive strollers, and they're just, this is a day in the life, and we go to play dates, and then you'll have some other moms who will post and say, this is what it's really like. My house does not look like this. The way these Instagram posts is perfectly
of course
decorated, clean houses, and then you have these moms like it's not like that.
No, we know.
It's not like that, especially if you have a toddler or 1, 2, 3 kids and they're running around crazy. Your stuff is not intact.
No.
So you're keeping it real. What is it like?
So very similar to what I said. Just every day looks different. I have big boys. My sons are 12 and 14. No, look, I'm bad. No, that's not. 12 and 15. Wow. They're going to be 12 and 16, right? We have birthdays coming up, November, December. So I'm going to have next year a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old. And the house is still dirty. I ain't got toddlers, but they still running around and acting like it. And then on top of that, it's their rooms that's a mess, right? So for me, I really try to stick to like my routines. Like I have my routines. I try to instill routines inside of them, but it's hectic. But it's a beautiful kind of like chaos, Start the day really early. I start my day really early. 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning is when I'm getting up. I'm showering. I'm doing my little morning self-care routine. I'm doing my makeup, putting my hair together, getting myself prepared. So once I go in to like wake up everyone else in the house, husband included, I'm good, right? Because I feel like that's the most important thing. When you are taking care of yourself and you making sure that you're good, it makes it so much easier to help everybody else in the house, So we do that. We're out the house. My kids travel with me. They go to school in my area. My oldest son goes to school with me. My youngest one, he's around the corner. So it's drop-offs. I'm at work all day. I'm a teacher. So I'm there till about 3:30 after school, hanging out with my students, and I'm doing pickup, whatever sports and stuff the kids are in because they're involved in things. We're doing practice. I'm getting home. Dinner, I try to keep things really specific and easy. The only time you're going to catch me cooking a real big meal is Sunday. During the week, it's quick and easy. If it can be done in 25 minutes, that's where I'm at.
Period.
Homework check, baths, trying to make sure that I spend time having conversations with everyone and checking in on husband and making sure the kids are good. And I'm probably back in bed by 11:30, but I need to do better with that, right? Because I'm learning that in menopause, sleep is something that's really important.
Yes.
And I haven't mastered that yet because night times are really difficult for me in between like the insomnia and the hot flashes. I don't sleep. I have not slept consistently for like the last almost 2 years. I probably get 4 hours, but it's like interrupted, because I'm hot, so I'm waking up, and then I'm cold, and I'm going back to sleep.
And that's putting stress on your other organs.
Okay. Okay, that's why, I'm carrying around this little extra weight. It's cool or whatever, but it's not where I want to be. But I'm acknowledging that, right? Because life is busy right now. So it's just really trying to make sure that everyone is okay, and that I'm also being able to meet the goals that I have set for myself. So
You're doing so much.
it is a lot. We as
And I don't want to sound better.
Go for it.
But there's just so much that women take care of.
I know.
And this is the reason why I don't let people disrespect me. Mm-hmm. You can't call me no weird names. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not your bitch. Yeah. I'm not none of that, because I do so much. Yeah. I create. Yep. Were it not for us, nobody would be on this planet. Like if all women said today, you know what, I'm not getting pregnant anymore. Yeah. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to start coming out of a lab. I'm not going to say we're going to go extinct. Somebody's going to figure out how to keep. Of course. But the point that I'm trying to make is everything that you just said is so powerful. And I want to give you your flowers. I want to give flowers to all of us, all the women, all the moms. And just make sure that you're putting that reverence out there, because we're nothing to be played and toyed around with. And that's on period. And I think that's the thing, right? People see us and think that we just get up and do because that's what, we're trained to do, but they don't recognize like the toll that it takes, right? Like taking care of everything all the time and trying to be the best. A mom, because that's the thing, right? I never want to say like, moms who are outside the home are doing more than stay-at-home moms. I'm not here for that kind of conversation. But what I am going to say, just being a mom in general, takes a toll. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's a lot that we have to do. And I think that we don't, in our society, recognize the amount of work just making sure that someone else's well-being is taken care for, how much work that is. Right? And then you compile that with everything else, the things that we go through, if you have spouses, if you're working, if you're, trying to figure things out, all of that, like, it's a lot. So flowers are deserved. Like, I feel like Mother's Day is a joke. I feel like that's a joke. We should have like Mother's Year. Every day should be Mother's Day, with the amount of work that we're literally doing on a daily basis and not being acknowledged or recognized. It's just like, oh, that's just mom. Which is why it's so important for me to make sure that in my experiences with my life and what I'm going through, I let my children know, like, bro, like, I'm not a robot. Like, I'm not someone that's going to keep going. I'm a human. I'm going to need time. I'm going to need a break. I'm going to need you to go that way and let me do what I have to do. Like, no, because, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of times, like, people expect moms to always show up, and I'm not always at that capacity. And I think it's so important for people to understand that we're humans too. We have feelings too. We have emotions too. And I get that we carry the weight of everyone's world on our shoulders, but it doesn't mean that shit ain't heavy. And this is in no way taking anything away from men. No. We love you, dads. But let's keep it real. Personally, I'm talking about me, in my world, I know so many moms and women who do all the things. And then I don't know if this is a culture that gets trickled down or taught, but I know when I came to this country and I started watching American TV, I would always see the mom doing all the things and the dad is on the couch watching TV because he went to work and brought groceries or whatever. And this is probably reflecting women who don't have a 9-to-5. But what about the moms who do have a 9-to-5, but when they come home, the partner is doing the same thing? Yeah. Guys. Women just instantly become like the default parent. And that's not right. Like, I let my kids know all the time, like, go ask your father. Go ask your father. Like, my son will call, oh, mom, what's for dinner? Go ask your father. Click, because I'm not doing it. Like, and it's not because I don't want to feed my children, but it's because, like, you have two parents. Yes. Take advantage. You lucky. You know, you lucky. Take advantage. You're not gonna run me ragged. Go ask your father. Y'all go figure it out. All right. So now that we're on the marriage thing. Yeah. Wait, what you about to ask? Now that we're on the marriage thing, no, it's nothing crazy. I'm just dramatic. But it's okay. I'm here for shenanigans. I grew up hearing women say, stay in shape, do your makeup, fix your hair, keep it tight, speak soft, do this, do that, so that when your man looks at you 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line, he can't say, you're not the woman I fell in love with. You have to stay the same to keep your man. I want to hear your thoughts on that, because based on my body language and my tone right now, y'all know I have an opinion on that, but...
So I feel like, it is important, right? I do believe it's important. I do believe that, I need to be, cute for my husband, but cute is a relative term, right? So even if my body does change or whatever the case may be, yes, I'm going to get dressed up for my husband. Sometimes, right? Because I feel like marriage is so much more than just like physical, attraction. Like I've changed so much. Like I've been with my husband since I was 17 years old. I'm 34, so we're talking about 17 years of being with the same person. I am definitely not who I was at 17.
You can't be.
Or at 25
Can you
or
imagine?
at 34. But I think that's where, exactly. I mean, we would like to be where we was in high school. You know what I mean? But, it is what it is. And I think that the relationship has to be stronger than just what the physical part is, because like I said, you have children, your body changed. I have a hysterectomy. I'm like 40 pounds heavier than I was just last year.
Really?
And that's sitting it. You can't tell though.
No.
Yeah, because I keep it tight. No, I'm joking. but that's what I'm talking about, right? Like I try to make sure that I take care of myself, and it's not because I want my husband to be physically attracted to me. It's about me more than anything. Do I think that we should be at their beck and call and at their feet with the plate like, here's dinner, honey? No, I don't. But I believe that in relationships, you guys set the terms. You set the terms for what you want. I've struggled with feeling beautiful and feeling sexy, especially after I had a hysterectomy, because I knew not only would I physically change, but like sexually, our intimacy would change as well, because my body don't work the same way anymore. So there were times where like I had thoughts of like, bro, just pack it up, go ahead and go find a new wife, because I ain't working right. You know what I mean? And we did have those conversations, because like I said, transparency is everything to me. So when I'm having these thoughts and these emotions, I'm, very open with him about it. Because I think like in a marriage, that's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Like you're supposed to let your spouse know how you're feeling. But we still together, so he good. Like, you know what I mean? So I just think it's really about what you want in your relationship. Do I think that we should, be cute for our husbands? Yeah, I do. But I don't think that that's all the relationship should be based upon.
I love that.
What you think? I want to hear your thoughts.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's that attraction makes the world of difference, and it's a two-way thing, right? And a lot of times when you hear men say, my wife needs to da-da-da, when you look at the husband, you're like, why?
Is it just her?
Why is it that men don't have the same pressure to keep it tight, to do this, to do that? Man.
They lucky, right?
It must be nice.
I want to be a dad sometimes.
It must be nice. You got your remote, your belly, and and that's no shade. It's just the pressure. There's like a bias when it comes to this pressure. But I do agree with you. I think it's very important that you consider your attractiveness, because that's what humans are pulled to that's how humans are pulled,
and men
to each other.
They're very visual.
Yeah.
So they,
and guess what, baby, I'm visual too.
Period.
I'm very visual too. Yeah, but it's beyond the idea of what you look like, and you made a vow. That's the reason when I get married, I'm not using a traditional vow. Because I hear people make vows, and I'll be like, girl, I would not do it for better or for worse. It's true.
But that's what you want, right?
There's a level of worse that I have a limit to worse.
Period.
You're not killing me out here. But anyway.
No, but that's the truth. You got to set the terms for the kind of relationship that you want. And when you're with someone, I know for us, like, I've changed drastically. So the things that I was okay with at 17, I'm not okay with at 34.
Period.
You know what I mean?
That.
Like you grow and you evolve, and that's why it's so important that you continue to have these hard conversations with your spouse, because this is how people drift apart. Like they forget to, especially when you're raising children, like you focus, and this is, I'm going to go back to moms because I'm a woman and I can only speak to experience. Like, I remember a time where, like, I lost myself in motherhood and my only focus, just tunnel vision, was my children. Just kids.
Isn't it crazy how you go from just your biggest problem is, God, I can't find those jeans that make my butt look good. That's your biggest problem in the world. And then one day, it's a whole, you're like, wait, what happened? It's like you go to sleep and wake up, the world has changed, there's a bunch of people that are depending on you, and if your head is not on and you're not focused the entire time, it can blindside you.
Yes. And that's the thing, just focus and train on the kids, forgetting about my relationship. And I recognize that, like, yo, we got to connect too, because when these kids get grown and they out our house, it's going to be me and you. And if I ain't liking you, like, what's going to happen? But you look about it, you see it. Like, it happens all the time. Kids go away, the kids get older, and they looking at each other like, bro, I don't like you. I don't even know you.
Like, when did you change between 1996 and today? Like,
exactly, 20 years, because I'm not focused on you. So I feel like when you're in a marriage and you have a spouse and a partner, or whatever your commitment is to your other person, priority has to come to that relationship, because that's your forever person. Our children, yes, we love them. They're going to be here forever, but they leave. They start their own families, right? So if I'm going to be with you for forever, we're going to need to make sure that we good for forever, right? So yeah.
Did you hit like a wall, or what was the breaking point that made you say, you know what, I want to jump into the next thing we're going to be talking about, the Model Mommy Club?
Okay.
What made you start that? Did you have to go through something crazy, or did one day you were like, I just want to do something?
So I think it's a little bit of both. I just remember like a time when I was going through postpartum depression. This was a while ago. Like my youngest son is going to be 12. When I first had him, like those first 3 years were very difficult for me, because I was going through postpartum depression and I felt like I couldn't find a community. Like, I had my children early. So a lot of my friends weren't at baby 2 yet, right? A lot of my friends weren't even having children yet. So it was very lonely and it felt very isolating. And I felt like I couldn't find nobody to talk to about what I was feeling. So that's when I took to social media and just started like, sharing my experiences. So I started the Makeup Mommy, Modern Day Mommy, because it's changed so many times, but it's always like mom, this club, because I wanted women to have a space, specifically mothers, to have a space where they didn't feel judged, where they'll be able to be vulnerable, let their hair down, and hang out together, right? Because we do events, hang out together and do things that prioritize their self-care. I feel like in a lot of these mom spaces, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, it's just a lot of shame and judgment. Like, people swear to God that they're the best mom in the world. And listen,
no, friend, they know they're not. They know they're not. They want you
to believe that, right?
To think that they are.
Yeah, and friend, like, I'm cool. Like, I think we're all great moms, right? Because, everybody's different. But at the same time, I feel like there has to be a limit where when people are sharing what they're going through or their experiences, where we're not trying to jump down their throat and tell them that they're not doing good enough. I feel like there's so much of that, in conversation. I see it in a lot of mom spaces where people are like, just, I do it this way and this way is the best. And it's just like, girl, calm down. Calm down.
Your house is messy.
Girl,
you don't know your husband anymore.
You don't even know yourself.
Your kids don't like you.
Not your kids don't like you.
No, it's not shade. It's not shade. It's a natural human experience. Yeah. And I'm not saying it to shame you. Of
course.
I'm saying it because everybody's going through some version of it. So why are we pretending?
Because it's just a lot of projection, like you said. It's a lot of projection. I have older children, so I haven't had adult children. I'm not there yet, but I've went through like the newborn, the toddler, the kid. It's a lot.
It's
and
hectic.
you have different children, different personalities. You change, they're transitioning. And adolescence, y'all, it's not for the weak. I promise you. Every day, like when the kids first got there, I was a mess because I had no idea like what to do with them. But
a whole new world.
Girl, but that's how it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
right? It's a journey. You're not supposed to know what's around the corner, but you're supposed to keep going through. So I just wanted moms to have a space, you know, my moms to have a space to be who they authentically are and not have to worry about people judging them. That's
so
what's
how
really
can
important.
moms and women get into that space? Do you have to be a mom?
Yeah, so I don't want to be like an elitist, but yeah, you got to be a mom. You got to be a mom because that's who I'm talking to, and I feel like that's it. Like we just need more spaces. Like we just need more spaces.
So how do they get into that space with you?
Oh, just follow me on Instagram. You know, I have my Modern Day Mommy page. I have my Facebook group. You know, you just come on down.
Modern Day Mommy.
Yes, a Modern Day Mommy.
Modern Day Mommy.
AMODERNMOMMY. Instagram and on Facebook.
Yeah, I love stuff like that because it's so important to talk to people who understand what's happening with you and not trying to tell you, well, girl, I wake up at 5, I do yoga, and I get my cup of wine that I'm pretending is coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm better than you.
Exactly. Because that's what it feels like a lot of, right? It feels like a lot of like this comparison, like we're trying to get one up on the other. And I get it, like, but I feel like it can't be that. And it can't be that because it's like, what kind of kid are you raising? Are you raising your child to act like they're better than someone? Because our children, you know, like that we're their first role model. So I want my kids to be empathetic. I want them to be understanding. I want them to be kind, inviting, all those things. I don't want them outside shaming people. Even if you are better, you know, whatever that is, you know, I don't want you to make someone feel that way. That's what's really important to me. And I feel like we need that space. You know, we need those kinds of spaces to where it's not about who has what. It's about the experience, and let me be here to support you. Let me be here to be a shoulder. Let me listen. Let me help, you know, you find a resource. Like, that's what I want for moms more than anything, because motherhood can be very isolating at times. You feel like you're alone. Like when your kid, like we was talking about my post, like my kid told me like I'm the reason for one of his problems. Like I almost died. Like I was in my room. He hates me. But I had to share that on social media because I know other moms with these big ass teenagers are going through the same thing, because this is what kids do developmentally. When they get to adolescence and their hormones are all over the place, they're just all over the place. But it isn't a reflection of who you are. And I need moms to understand that, yes, it may hurt when they say these things, but we know the truth. You know what I mean? And it's okay. Was I hurt? Yup. Am I going to stop showing up for my kid? Absolutely not. But I am going to be there for another mom who's going through this.
Oh. Yeah. We can drop the mic right there. I love that. I love that. All right, so we're about to jump into the next segment.
Okay. Okay. Yup. Let's do it.
All right. So the SOA Q&A is our segment where our producer, Shot of Adrenaline, will ask us questions that we have to answer.
Okay. Let's see.
So this is how it goes. He'll ask the question, you repeat the question, and then you answer.
Got it.
All right?
Yeah.
The last dream that I can remember. If dreams are like an alternate reality, like we're in another universe, I am some type of badass spy chick, toting guns, shooting people. I swear to you, action-packed, running, shooting people, hiding in houses, helicopters coming up to the window. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing over there in that universe? The multiverse.
You're the multiverse?
Yeah, I feel like the dream is probably me seeing what my other self is doing. She's out there. I hope I'm not ratting her out.
No.
Sorry, girl.
What about me has made people feel insecure around me? All right, so I think it's like two things, right? One is my personality. I'm very outgoing, loving, bubbly. So I have that kind of personality that like draws people in. And then it's the body. I be serving. Like I'm a baddie, so I feel like no, I'm joking. It's the first one, just my personality.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't remember the first date I've ever been on. I do know that I do remember an early date. I can talk about being on a date with my first boyfriend, and we were walking by a car. I wouldn't change it. I'm just telling a story at this point. We're going to the movies, Linden Boulevard in East New York, and Linden Multiplex, Magic Johnson movie. And he was like, "You're so conceited." I'm like, "Why do you say that?" He was like, "Because you look in every car window we walk by."
You don't? Like, I thought that was
But that was really me. I was in every window.
Period.
Constantly fixing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ain't looking in the mirror, is it a mirror?
Are you there? That was 17-year-old me.
If I could decide where I was to be born, I feel like, okay, I'm American and I am so jealous of people who have accents. Like, I just want some exotic accent that's just probably like French or something, because their accent is kind of like sexy. So maybe Paris, that's where I want to be born. Bonjour, so I can talk like that.
I'm trying to figure out what to say and what not to say.
What?
I wasn't expecting that answer.
Really?
No.
Why?
I don't know. It's weird.
Oh. I want an accent.
All right. Ce soir,
Français.
Voulez-vous c'est avec moi?
Avec moi.
Ce soir.
Oui, oui.
Bonbon. If I could take a vacation for 3 months with $14 million, I'm going to Guyana. Guys, haven't you been listening to this podcast? I'm going home to my family and we're going to swim in the creek, not creek, in the creek, in the black water. And we're going to go to the Amazon and we're going to eat all the exotic fruit and figure out how to get rid of the mosquitoes. With 14 million, I think I can get rid of mosquitoes, right?
Get rid of some of them, yep.
We can put them into extinction, because my gosh. But yeah, I'm definitely going home. All right, so this segment is our happy habit.
Okay.
And in this segment, you are going to tell the people what's a happy habit that you practice daily. Maybe it's not daily, but something that brings you joy and happiness.
My happy habit would definitely have to be books. I am an avid reader. Like, I demolish books. Like, I love to read.
I'm jealous.
I do. I really do.
That.
And if I'm not like reading a book, I'm listening to like an audiobook. Because I don't know, it's just something very soothing. Right now I'm reading The Mountain Is You, and
I saw that you posted that.
It's phenomenal.
Oh
and
my
it's just
God.
really, it's taken me a while to get through it because it's so much like packed in there. And I feel like when you're reading a book, especially something that's for like self-improvement or something like that, it's really important that you take time to digest and try to make application of the things that you're learning before going forward. So I'm probably going to be reading this for like the next 3 months, but that's okay because I'm listening to another book called Good Power, which is also really good. So yeah, my happy habit is books, reading.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know why I'm jealous?
Why?
Because I have always been a book reader, but I feel like once I came into this world, we were just talking about this world where you're looking around, you're like, where am I? Who am I? What's happening? I feel like I can't focus as well as I used to. Like, if the book is not a subject matter that grabs me, I can't like read through it the way I used to back in the day where I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter what it's about. I'm going to get through this book because I'm committed. Now I'm like, okay, I'm not interested. I don't want to do this.
But that's okay, right? Now, I think that because for me, reading is like kind of intimate. Like, you want to read something that's going to feed you and like nourish you. And if it's not doing that, then it's not the book that you should be reading. Like, you're not reading books just for the sake of reading books.
Thank you for
you know what I mean?
that.
Yeah, like.
Because I feel like, I'm a quitter. I'm one of those people, I'll watch one episode of a show and I'm like,
I'm gonna say give it at least 3 episodes. I'm gonna say 3.
I'm like,
one is not enough.
I'm like,
but when
guys,
it comes to books,
what are you doing? Where are we going with this?
Yeah,
you know, but I just start thinking about all the things I have to do.
I'm crying. It's not a good book then, but you're gonna like The Mountain Is You. It's Brooke Wines, if I'm not mistaken. It's really good.
Yeah, I love books too.
It's really good.
I love books. That's it, guys. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the TkActn podcast. Created and hosted by Nola Rowe. Produced by TkActn Media. Theme song by Mr. Melee. Sponsored by The Hills Restaurant, Brooklyn, New York. Listen to us on all podcast platforms and follow us on social media at the TkActn podcast. Visit thenolaroexperiencepodcast.com and connect with us via email at talkwithnola@gmail.com.